Hey guys, Ed over here at FICM Repair. Happy Friday to you. Friday? Saturday. Saturday. This question comes in and says, hey look, got a '03 truck, put a 58 volt FICM in. I'm wondering if it's starting to fail because now it's skipping and backfiring. Could that be the FICM? At idle. The answer is maybe, but probably not. What you really need is you need monitoring gauges, whether it's the Edge device here or a scan gauge, SCT, 4Scan, Torque Pro, something, and see, just verify everything else. Before I would condemn the FICM in this particular case as the cause of this, I would want to rule everything else out, right? I would want to see what your fuel pressure was, which is going to require a special transducer because there's no factory sensor for fuel pressure. I would also want to go ahead and verify a high pressure oil was adequate. So when you're at like 180 degree oil or higher, is your IPR duty cycle like 23% or is it closer to 30, which means that the valve is closing more than it should have to in order to result in the proper injection control pressure. If you've got a fancy gauge, you can like a IDS or something, one of the things you can get is ICP actual versus ICP desired and verify that those things are in lockstep with each other. You can also go ahead, if you have, again, something fancier, you can go ahead and do a cylinder contribution test, but very specifically with ECM compensation disabled to say, hey, ECM, don't compensate for these bad injectors, just go ahead and fuel them all evenly, and let's see which one falls out. You can look at a little pretty chart and graph and stuff and say, okay, yeah, number 6 is the problem or whatever the case is. But if all those things pass and it's still doing it, then I'm going to say yes, it probably is the FICM. Conveniently though, any Power Stroke program FICM starts and runs any other Power Stroke regardless of model. So what that means is if you've got a buddy with a 6.0, you've got another FICM basically, you can pop another FICM in that truck and see if that solves your problem, because it very well may. But, that said, I don't know. If you're looking at this video and wondering if it's worth sending your FICM in or whatever, one of the things you might understand, it's just kind of a funny thing. Not everyone follows through on what they say they're going to do. So frustrating. And so, one of the things that we offer is FICMs on exchanges. So, hey, I can't afford to be down. My FICM's failing. It's not failed. I need this truck. Will you please send me out a FICM on exchange? Sure. And then they promise to send their core back. Well, as you might well imagine, not everyone is good about sending their core back. And so we have relationships with boneyards all over the nation. We're constantly getting FICMs in, by 100, 200 at a time on a pallet kind of thing. And where did these FICMs come from? Well, they came from T-Bones trucks, Rolls trucks, wreck trucks, rear-ended trucks. In other words, FICMs that were in trucks that were running and driving, and then all of a sudden they weren't. As you'd expect, nearly all of those will start and run a truck when they show up at our place to be gone through. But as you wouldn't expect, at least we didn't expect it, even though they would start and run a truck, easily 19 out of 20 of them have some kind of problem with them. You put them on the test bench and, oh, look, injector number 5 is clipping or whatever it is. So if you wanted to, in this particular case, if you wanted to rule out the FICM and say, yeah, there's almost certainly something wrong with my FICM anyway, sure, go ahead and ship me one. I'm not here to say that's a bad idea, but obviously it hurt me a little bit if it didn't solve your problem. So, but your mileage may vary. The goal is to help you, not to cost you money. So I would, before I sent the FICM off to me or got one on exchange, I would rule everything else out. And then if everything else passes and you still have a problem, yeah, the only thing left is the FICM. All right? So I hope this helps somebody. FICMRepair.com. Guys, we're all in this together. I appreciate you. Keep the comments coming.